Hello, my roses. I gotta get my little camera stand so I ain't gotta hold my phone and shit like that. I'm just coming to y'all today to chop it up with y'all about why. I imagine y'all think that shit happened real recently. I mean, the blow up in the exchange with the new chick happened recently, but everything else is fairly old. Not that old, because my youngest child is 3 years old. So everything is about five years old, about 5 years old. And initially, that blow up that's on my YouTube channel of me busting his car up and he busting my car up, that happened in October of 2022. So I'm really still processing everything, and everything is still in the process of happening. And I'm kind of still navigating my way through the situation for what it is. And as I navigate myself through this situation, um, I'm learning things about myself, and I'm deciding to come and share that with my channel, because this is what my channel was about. My channel was about supporting my peers through the different traumas that come with um, life, and mostly mental health and addiction, though. And mental health and addiction is like a co-occurring, and it's kind of like a cycle. People tend to want to self-medicate because of mental health issues, or mental health issues will cause a person to be on drugs, self-medicating. So it's weird, you know what I'm saying? And then there's all these other prevalent issues that come along with that lifestyle, and people be unintentionally fucking their life up. And I think that when people are able to share their experiences, not just their sad experiences, but the experience, the strength, and the hope, then others are better able to navigate through their situations, because it's a lonely fucking world thinking you the only person going through certain retarded ass shit, and it's stuff that society deems as shameful, or shit that you're supposed to be ashamed of, or are things that keep you in a constant state of guiltiness, right? So I kind of just want to come and share my experience on the strength tip. Like, you can get through whatever you go through. Like, because I done been through some shit, like real shit. Like, just as everybody else has. The difference between me and everybody else, though, is I don't mind sharing my experience, no matter how shameful or degradeful it may be. And why is because I also understand that there is a incomprehensible demoralization that happens with anybody that goes through the lifestyle that I went through. And no matter how much they like to lie to themselves and say that the lifestyle don't bring about a certain type of pain, resentment, hurt, shame, and guilt, I am one to say that's a lie. That is a lie. Now, there are those who are raised in certain environments, so they don't see it as anything wrong. But once they come into themselves, I'm sure everybody comes to that if you want to call it a come to Jesus moment, or a spiritual awakening as such. You start to realize certain things don't matter, and certain things are important, and that you've wasted a lot of time and done a lot of shit that you probably shouldn't have done, trying to get shit that don't even make you happy, but you thought it was gonna make you happy because other motherfuckers was lying, talking about it made them happy, and it really don't. It's crazy. It's just crazy the way that, I don't know. It's just crazy the way that everybody be lying about this setup, about how happy they are in the setup. And I am a state certified peer support specialist. So working in the mental health field and the dual diagnosis field with drugs, I see everybody come in. Not only that, my personal experience, I was on crack. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Like, it got me. And then when I was into in that realm, that's a whole subculture. When I was in that realm, it flabbergasted me as to how infested the hood is with crack. And people be acting like that ain't what it is when you're talking on certain platforms, and you're talking in general, or you're talking politics. You're talking finance. Y'all act like that's not what's really going on. It's like a fucking invisible hierarchy going on in the black community that people don't talk about. And I'm going to talk about it, but I need to lay that shit out. I need to make sure I lay that shit out right. Like, baby, that invisible hierarchy is what's actually causing all of the mishap in the unstructuredness in the hood. It's crazy. But I also talked about that on one of my videos as the like a whole plan as to how we could come out of this as a whole unit. But everybody caught up on this relationship shit, and I personally ain't caught up on that shit no more. And that's the reason I come and I talk about my experiences, because as I learn, I would like for the young women that's behind me to learn too. Everybody ain't gonna be no goddamn Megan Thee Stallion now. Some of you motherfuckers gonna end up being me, and hopefully you have enough wherewithal to come the fuck up out of whatever situation got you in a chokehold, thinking that you're having fun driving the boat, when really, nigga, you ain't really doing nothing but making yourself easily accessible and easily able to manipulate. Because once you get a hold of something that fuck around and get a hold of you, and you think you using it for fun, then all of a sudden it's using you for fun and you're willing to do whatever to get it. Oh, that's a hell of a world to be in as a woman. It's a real hell of a world to be in for a man. Can you imagine? Men ain't built to use their bodies for sex. We not either, but it is more feminine for us to receive. You get me what I'm saying? That it's a receiving energy. When men put themselves in that energy, in their addiction, that's some demon like shit. That's why as a certified, I don't, and I'm not saying, no, I am saying I don't deal with men. I really don't. No, I can't coach you. I don't know what you went through. I know what you went through, and I can't relate as a man. Because I know that's a different road, and another man needs to talk to you about that. You and another man gonna have to talk. My whole channel is dedicated to women and children, because I already know that's a whole nother lane, but nobody's addressing this shit. It's like, this is the shit that's not really being addressed, and I'm kind of just like, well, if them niggas ain't gonna address it, I ain't really gonna address it. I'm just addressing the female side of shit. That's it. That's all. Because that man shit, that shit there is something deep. That we are witnessing the full-fledged results of the crack era. And we don't even want to accept it. It's kind of just like, we like, it's your fault. No, nigga, it's your fault. No, nigga, it's your, no, nigga, at this point, I ain't blaming nobody. I'm just telling everybody, we need to hold yourselves accountable. You need to hold yourself accountable. We got to hold ourselves accountable. That's all I'm telling everybody. And that's the only reason I come with nothing but my stories. I come with my stories because those are my experiences, and from what I gather from my experiences and a little bit of research that I do, a lot of research I do, but I gather that there's a lot that has been told, and there's some shit that has been put into our whole system, our whole community, to where we can't even function right. It's like we're not functioning. Like, we're not fucking functioning. There's no getting away around. It's no getting around it, and we can't even. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say this. Women are getting it. All the women are getting it, and I'm so proud of us. That's why I have to come and tell my side of the story and speak my version of things, because that crack story is a crazy fucking story, and nobody want to come and tell that motherfucker, but somebody gonna have to come and tell. Do y'all see what that shit'll do to a person, man? It's people that make it out, man. It is people that make it out, and you'll never know that that's what they went through. But who is that helping? And of course, there are those that make it out, and there are other people that'll know what they went through, but you got to be in a certain room to hear that story. And everybody ain't gonna make it to the motherfucking rooms. Everybody's not gonna make it to the motherfucking rooms. That is fucking fact, bro. I know it. I've seen it too many times. I was in my addiction this last go round, after I had a couple of rounds of rehab, hadn't become a recovery coach, because I relapsed after becoming a recovery coach. That's how I know it'll get anybody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's above reproach, bro. So this last go round, I was like, oh Lord, I hope my voice ain't changed too much, but I'm comfortable at this point. This is how I really talk. But this last go round, I I was telling motherfuckers, hey, your 4-step gonna be long than a motherfucker, man. I was telling people, hey, your 4-step gonna be long than a bitch. Just based off of how they was out there treating each other. I had this, not that I was a better crackhead than anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there were certain things I wouldn't do to people in order to get high. There were certain things I was not willing to do to myself in order to get high, which made it a lot easier for me to come out and be able to talk my story, because there isn't a bunch of really fucked up, super degrading things behind it, and I've seen it. Matter of fact, I have partaken in it. I have, but it wasn't on a regular basis. There were stop limits. Like, I was protecting my essence out there. That's the best way I could put it, man. I don't know how I really cared about people still. Like, everybody didn't go, anything didn't go, and I could come out and say this shit publicly, and no, ain't nobody gonna contest me. Ain't nobody gonna turn around and be like, I know her, she lying, she was a stone. No, ain't nobody gonna say that, bro. I'm telling the truth. Like, there was certain shit I wasn't willing to do. Now, I done a lot though. I did a lot, and I fucked up, and man, I went through. That's how I know though. That's why I extend so much grace to everybody, and I extend so much grace to myself, man, because I understand, man, this shit here, it's real, like black market real. People really thinking that people not taking people and cutting them up and selling body parts, or taking little girls and selling them off. People act like that shit really don't happen. Here it is. I done been all out in the field and then witnessed a bunch of different shit to where I'm like, bro, I got PTSD. I ain't gonna even lie, I'm fucked up, but I'm grateful that I have the spirit that I have, because I was protected out there. I was heavily protected. Like, bro, I think this is why I can't jump into it and be on some I hate men type shit, or I don't want to address that shit. I just don't want to address them. I don't want to address them, and I don't want to talk about their problems. I don't want to talk about it because I understand. Man, I understand. And I had so many men step in and protect me from different situations, to where I could say I got all my teeth, bro. I got my front teeth, bro, because it was some niggas out there that wasn't fit to let nothing like that happen to me, man. And it wasn't because it wasn't niggas out there that wouldn't do it to me. It was just because there were men that was just like, So I always extend the grace where the grace is needed. But I'm telling you, it's woo. I don't even think we understand what the real issue is. But that's why I come and talk about my side, man. Because we can only do so much of the knocking leaves off trees before we actually get to the root issue. And I feel like the best way to address the root issue is by dealing with me. Like, really dealing with me. This is the beginning of me self-actualizing. This is not even the beginning. This is really the middle of me self-actualizing. You know what I'm saying? And I knocked myself back a couple of steps. But then I quantum leaped forward. Right after I did that. So I'm right where I need to be. But there's other spaces that I want to jump to. So in order to do that, there's going to be a lot of changing of the minds and belief systems and behavioral patterns. And in order to do that, you got to really like address you. You got to really look at the part you play in everything. You got to be accountable to yourself. Like, you can't swindle people your whole goddamn life. Like, you can't just be around here blaming everybody your whole goddamn life. And I would love to be the example of showing you what it is to take accountability for your bullshit. Because I got a bunch of bullshit to take accountability for. I mean, it is what it is. But I ain't ashamed of it no more. You know, I might be a little guilty about some shit. And I'm going to address that shit here too. But I ain't ashamed of it no more. That's the point. I ain't ashamed of it no more. That's all that matters. I ain't ashamed no more. So that's all I wanted to talk about. That's all I was... I'm going to go back over this video and see everything that I said, because I really don't know. This was off the dome. But I do got some shit that I done wrote out so that we can have structured talks. But at this point, I just need to get videos out. At this point, I just need to make sure that I'm getting the videos out like they need to be. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm getting these videos out the way that I'm supposed to be getting them out, because I am getting ready to start my 30-day challenge with this weight loss. I'm trying to get fit fine for 39. You know what I'm saying? All these are goals. These are things that I have aligned for myself so that I could stay focused on something, so that I could continue to build and continue to self-actualize. But you will self-sabotage and hold yourself back from achieving anything if you do not address yourself. That's it. That's all. All right, y'all. I'll holler at you, roses.